Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, my fellow Chibits. Today I'm here to bring you a fairy tale anime review on episode 60. You know, it's kind of hard to believe. It's already been 60 episodes since, Fairy Tale 2014 began. Like, personally, it doesn't feel that long, really, since I've been reviewing, the anime since its return. So anyways, let's get on topic. So this episode continues on with the prologue and the setup of the Tartarus Arc. Like the title of this episode's prologue of the Tartarus Arc. So, as you can see, the arc is still being set up with all the groundwork for what we can expect in the future. And with this episode, the first part of the episode, like I guess a quarter to a half of the episode, is Laxus versus Tempesta of Tartarus. And come to find out that the dude can suicide himself and turn himself into, like, anti-magic particles that can kill wizards. And it's very bad. It can even affect people that are not magicians or wizards or anything like that, because it killed 100 people in this episode. So, what we can get from this episode is that there is death. There is death. And if you think about Fairy Tale, like if you really take a look at Fairy Tale in past arcs, usually you don't see death like what this arc is already starting to do, because we've already seen multiple deaths in the past 2 episodes since this arc began. Like, if you go back last episode, the council members got fucking wrecked, and then with this episode, you see, civilians getting killed. So it just shows you, even though it's kind of people that hasn't had the most screen time, or it's just, random civilians getting killed, and still there is death that is going on in the series. So anyone that says that there isn't death in Fairy Tale, I guess you can say there is death. I mean, with this episode and last episode. And that's kind of one of the main reasons. Like, it gets a lot better. But this is really why I love the Tartarus Arc so much in Fairy Tale. Like I said in my last review, the Tartarus Arc is by far one of the best arcs of Fairy Tale. Besides the Tower of Heaven, this is a very fucking good arc. And now I'm understanding why I like this arc. Now, I really understand now after looking at these episodes and remembering how the chapters were, and then seeing this, like, oh my god, like, the way this is being animated, from a manga viewer's perspective, I have to say that the way this is being adapted, I think it's being done even better than the manga. I gotta say it, and that's the job of an anime that adapts a manga. That's the job. That should always happen, but sadly enough, that does not always happen in today's age. And so, I can really, safely say that these past 2 episodes of the Tartarus Arc have been on point and better than the manga equivalent. It has been way better, because it's not just the music, but for some reason, the animation is just so damn good in these past 2 episodes. Now, when it comes to the backgrounds, what I've seen these past 2 episodes, they haven't been the best. There is some good backgrounds, but that's usually, I guess, where Fairy Tale usually saves their budget from. They usually kind of take a slow budget or under budgeted backgrounds, and then they, use it on the characters' expressions and stuff like that. So, that's where, Fairy Tale saves its money and, I guess, quality and production value through the backgrounds. But, hey, I have to say, these past 2 episodes have looked pretty fucking nice. Compared to what the filler arc we had, and then, slightly some derps we had in the previous arc, the Sun Village arc, the artwork and the quality of this looks really freaking good. You can tell that they're kicking the pedal to the metal with this arc and really wanting to go fully in with the animation, because this is a hype arc, and this is where a lot of people really say, like, oh my god, Fairy Tale's back to how it used to be in the Tower of Heaven arc and stuff like that. People were just, jumping for joy when they saw this art. So to see that, I'm happy. Getting on topic though, let's, go into the episode. Now I've talked about, my thoughts of how the production's been as a manga reader. This episode has Laxus versus Tempesta at the beginning of the episode, and Laxus, of course, he gets defeated, but he does take out one of the members of Tartarus. And from what we can see from the perspective of fighting-wise, Laxus beat the absolute shit out of Tempesta. He got his shit knocked in. Like, he was wrecked. He got wrecked hard. Like, it wasn't even really a fight. Laxus just popped up, wrecked his ass, and that's it. The only reason why Laxus is down at the moment is because the dude used a suicide bomb and ruined Laxus. That's kind of what happened. So, it wasn't really Laxus that got defeated by, I guess, fighting-wise. In terms of strength, Laxus, of course, is a lot stronger, as we can see and can tell. And we have to wonder right now, so how long is Laxus going to be out of the fights? I mean, what do you anime onlys think right now? I'm just curious. How long do you think it'll be until Laxus gets up and starts fighting? I want to hear your thoughts on that. But moving past that point, we also have it to where, in the act of Laxus sacrificing himself and weakening himself, sucking in all these, like, you know, magic efficiency particles where it weakens magic and wizards and kills them, he sucks it in. And it hurts him, and he tries to save the entire town, but in the act of that, even though he saved some lives, 100 people still died. And you see it to where the guildmaster, he walks up and he's like, yeah, you saved everybody, even though he was, you know, he lied about that. So it was a very heart-touching moment in the episode, and I have to admit, that was a really good scene. I like the choice of music, and speaking of music, I'm noticing those new soundtracks. I don't know if I'm the only one noticing it, but they've added some new soundtracks into this episode, and I'm liking that. I'm liking that quite a bit, because this arc needs new soundtracks, and needs good soundtracks, very kick-ass soundtracks, that really go with the theme and vibe of this arc. So yeah, that very good, you know, music in this episode. Now, we come to find out also that the Tartarus, they're hunting down the old council members as well. We kind of found that out in the end of last week's episode, but they're also hunting them down, and it's where Fairy Tail has decided to protect these old council members that are in hiding. For instance, Fairy Tail's now going to go protect them to try to figure out where Tartarus is going to strike next, because at the moment they don't have enough information to try to attack Tartarus, because even though if they want to declare war on them, which they want to, it's not going to do a lick of shit. Like, it's not going to do nothing, because they don't even know where Tartarus is. They don't know their home base, their base, or anything like that, so they need to protect the people they're after, and then hopefully they can get some information out of that. So that's currently what is going on in Fairy Tail thus far. What is your thoughts? How do you feel about Natsu versus Jackal coming up at the end of this episode when you see those two just staring at each other? Let me know your thoughts. I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.